Hello, everyone. So good to be back with you guys today. It feels like it's real summer. It's warm outside. I wanted to do this video outside. However, I couldn't because they're cleaning the pool next door. So, oh well. Anyway, the last video I did, I titled it, Purpose Can Be Corrupted, but Never Destroyed. And the reason why I did that is because I think sometimes we fall prey to the things that's happening to us externally. We don't believe in ourselves internally, and I've been there, so I understand it. I'm still there in some ways. But the takeaway from that particular message was God gave us purpose, and that is what we have to hold on to. So this morning, while I was reflecting and reading, I thought about that particular post I did, and it's so relevant even for me now. And so I was doing some reading, and there were a few thoughts that came across my mind, and I kind of jotted them down so I wouldn't forget. And one of them is, here's the question: how is purpose corrupted? And one of the things I thought about is this. To corrupt is to take the vision out of focus. I've been wearing glasses since I was like 4 years old. And I can remember every time I had to get a new prescription when I first put them on, it took time for my eyes to adjust. And sometimes my depth perception was off. Meaning, like, I'm trying to walk and I can't really distinguish where the floor is or where the ground is. That's what I'm talking about. Not taking your vision out of focus. That's one thing. The other way you can corrupt your purpose is to diminish the true intent. What is the intent of your purpose? Is it something that you really feel that is true to your authentic self? Or is it something someone else told you you need to be doing because no one knows you better than you? The other thing is you can corrupt your purpose by basking in the negative. If we don't learn to stay away from those negative things, in the scripture, it says, think on these things. Think on pure things, lovely things. Things are of good report. I have to remind myself of that all the time. Another way to corrupt the purpose is to believe the perceptions of others rather than be steadfast and believe in who you are. That's why I'm always talking about who are you, understanding who are you, and just keeping that right here in your heart, keeping it near the vest, because if you don't, you will always fall prey to what someone else is thinking about you. Another thing I thought about is allowing obstacles to determine your path instead of realigning the journey. Remember, some time ago, I talked about the navigation system, and sometimes when you're traveling, what happens is there may be a detour, but the detour will always take you back to the path that you should be on. And that is one of the things that we have to always remember. Sometimes you will undertake some things and it may not go the way you expected it to go, but you have to keep it moving. You can't stop just because there's something that is causing a delay. A delay doesn't mean that it'll never come to pass. It just means that, okay, let me learn from this and let me move forward. So, even the Bible tells us not to despise small beginnings. Whenever you're traveling or you're trying to fulfill a mission that you may have at a given time or purpose, there will be things that'll come in the way, things you have to learn, things that seem to be extremely challenging. But take the time anyway. Take the time anyway. I always talk about the paradoxical commandments, meaning that at the end of the day, whatever you're doing is not between you and man, it's between you and God, because He is the one who gave it to you. The other thing, I read this morning in a book. I went to Barnes & Noble, my favorite place, and I read this, and it's from a book called The Little Things in Life. And it says this: Don't let minor chores stand in the way of major accomplishments. That's huge. Even as you're cleaning your house, you know, or doing whatever you're doing, don't let the small things keep you from doing the larger things. Everything builds upon itself. And one of the other things I read is failure might hold the spark of a future success. You never know. I never thought I would be doing these videos. I never thought that. That wasn't in my plan. But once I accepted a mission, and I truly believe it's divine, once I did, then all of these things started to come into play. And so that's why it's difficult for me to let it go. In my book, I wrote an essay called Internal Struggles. For you guys who already have the book, this is it. Thoughts to Ponder, Discovering Your Authentic Self. On page 34, I said this in the closing thought, and it's this. So I asked myself, is it worth a risk to do what I am supposed to do? Absolutely. Vulnerability is hard. Remember, it takes trust to be vulnerable and courage to trust. But to remain silent is to sabotage my mission and fall into the hands of those who wish to cancel me. I just refuse to be canceled. That is just not in me. It took me many years to get here, but I'm here finally. So the last thing I want to say, and I wrote this down while I was reading, remember, it's God who gave you your purpose. Therefore, man cannot take it away, right? So I want you to be blessed, have a wonderful day. Think about all of these things. That is why I titled the book, Thoughts to Ponder. It's not about me giving advice. It's about opening up our way of thinking about things, the way we are in the world, the way our communities are, and the relationships we have. So if you'd like to purchase the book, again, you can. It's available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of that. It's also available through my website, www.kcploveproductions.com. So, also bookbaby.com. I forgot about that. So I want you guys to have a blessed day, and I don't know what we'll talk about next time, but I look forward to your comments. I always love to get comments. I love conversation, and it just encourages me too. All right, so you guys have a blessed day and be well.